Hey, my name is Kevin Garland, and I'm here today to show a quick video on how to program on a 32MZ. This is going to be a quick video, and going to be making multiple of these videos to show each programming step on how to program your 32MZ. And of course, anything that you really do on the 32MZ is going to be very similar to the 16IZ, 16Z, or SZ, 18SZ as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Typically, when you start off with a new model, we're going to go into the model menu here, and we're going to create a new model. So you're simply going to hit new, you're going to hit yes, and here we are with model type. So this will be the first step in the video series. Today we're going to go over each one of these items. And it's very important to get these items correct, because if you select all these parameters and then get into the middle of your programming and realize you selected the wrong wing type, tail type, or model type, you're going to have to redo your programming. So this is a really important step in the process. So the first item here is model type. You can select between an airplane, helicopter, glider, or motor glider. Majority of my airplanes are airplanes. I don't really have any helicopters. I do have a few gliders and a few motor gliders. However, there is one reason you would use a motor glider for a typical regular airplane, and that's going to be for butterfly mixing, which we will get into later. But for now, we're going to go into airplane. For wing type, a lot of people get the wing type confused with Futaba transmitter and programming. When you select it, you have a variety of options. For one aileron, this is typically on, let's say, a trainer plane that has one aileron servo in the middle that moves both ailerons using linkages. You can also use one aileron if you have two aileron servos, but they both go into a Y harness into one channel. So kind of think of aileron as one servo channel going into your receiver for either it being on a Y harness or being just a single servo. Aileron 2 is what you're going to majority use most of the time, especially for your aerobatic models like I have here in my shop. Aileron 2 is going to make it where you have one aileron on the left side, one aileron on the right side, and they're plugged into two separate channels. They're not plugged into one channel. So this will allow you to have aileron differential. You can set up different throws on each aileron to make it easier for programming. The next selection here is two aileron and one flap. That's used a lot on a lot of the EDFs that you see out there on the market today. Two aileron, two flap. I honestly have never used that before. Same for is two aileron and four flap, four aileron and two flap, and four aileron, four flap. I'm sure there's purposes for each one of these. The two biggest ones, actually three biggest ones I use are the first three here. Word of caution, a lot of people get it confused that four aileron is what you need for a setup where you have two aileron servos on one wing, such as like a 120cc to 200cc aircraft. That is not the case. Even with two aileron servos on one wing half going into two separate channels still, you still need to select two aileron. Tail type. You have three choices here. The normal, which is what we use majority of the time. VTEL, if your aircraft's a VTEL aircraft, you would select that. And elevator, you would select that only if you want to have your elevators act as an aileron. So if you move your right stick to the left, your left elevator will go up, your right elevator will go down. Typically, a lot of this is on such as like a 3D jet that I have here in the shop. But besides that, majority of the time you will select normal mode here. Once that's done, double check again to make sure that this matches what you want your aircraft to be. In my case, for the demonstration videos, it's going to be for an aerobatic airplane. Once everything is set, you will select the button up here and it will go to the system type where we will bind our transmitter to a receiver, and this will be in our next video. Thank you.